Follow him wherever he goes. Hello, it's 9 o'clock. It's 9 p.m. Are you here? Hello, 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 hello. Are you here? Are you here? Good evening. Please, if you're here, let me know that you are here. If you're here, let me know that you're here so that we can kick off. Oh, I've missed the master class. Welcome once more. We're on a short break, learning other things and doing other things. Yes, good evening, good evening. Tonight we want to talk about how to love difficult people. You know, this is the season of love. We're talking about all kinds of love, and I felt it's important that we share. Please get ready with your notebook, with your pen, and everything. Yes. Ready, ready, ready. You're welcome. You're welcome. You are welcome. You are welcome. You are welcome. You are welcome. Please share this with your group. And thank you so much. We're going to be learning today because it's very easy to love loving people, but very challenging to actually love. It's very easy to love loving people, but very challenging to love difficult people. And we meet difficult people every day. We meet them in church, we meet them in school, we meet them in business, we meet them in the office. We meet difficult people. We meet difficult people everywhere. And tonight I'm going to be sharing how we can actually love difficult people. It's important. Welcome. I can see all of you. Those of you that are leaders, Becky, all of you, copy the link, post it in your group, and let everyone come. So I'm just going to go right into it. Father, we thank you for another time to share. I'm so excited to share um, with your people tonight. I'm asking that we learn and we get and we get we also get the wisdom, to be able to navigate and relate with difficult people because we meet them everywhere. We meet them everywhere. We meet difficult people everywhere. And one of the things I would like to say is I would like to read a Bible verse because this is a faith-based community. So I'd like to read a Bible verse and I will explain it. You understand? Um, we meet difficult people everywhere. Yes, they are everywhere. Everywhere. Some of us even have somewhat very strong-willed children. Some of us have strong-willed children who you can say they are difficult. Some of us have very difficult in-laws, relatives, siblings. Some of us have difficult bosses, difficult colleagues, all kinds of things, leaders. So everywhere you see people who are not like you, Sometimes you may even be the difficult person. You may even be the difficult person. Yes. Some people are married to very difficult spouses, difficult parents. So it's everywhere. But let me read these Bible verses. Matthew chapter 5 and verse 44. Matthew 5:44. This is what it said. But I say to you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. This Bible verse, when you hear it, you think that what God is telling you is that you should jump and go and hug your enemies. You see, Jesus in the scripture did not say love agreeable people. He said even including those who oppose you. Because you know what? Love is a commandment. Love is a commandment. I'm going to read another Bible verse, Colossians chapter 3 and verse 13. Bear with each other and forgive. Sometimes loving someone may be bearing with them, not necessarily endorsing the behavior, bearing with them. Now I'm going to share what are some of the steps you have to deal with difficult people, because sometimes some of us even have bosses. Some of us even have bosses that are very difficult. You can't leave the job. You have to stay on the job because that's where you feed from. So you make your money. Do you understand? There's something I want you to understand. Sometimes these people that are difficult, you are not the cause of why they have found themselves in very difficult situations. Difficulty can actually, I hope you're listening, difficulty can actually come from brokenness. Some people have become difficult because they have been broken in several ways. And I'm going to be sharing with you. Some people are difficult because they've been wounded. Some people are difficult because they have actually been afraid. They are afraid. And so they are difficult. Some people are difficult because as a result of insecurities. So sometimes difficulty comes from a place of brokenness. Why am I saying this? Is so that when you see people behaving the way they are behaving, they're actually coming from somewhere. Some of them have been through a lot. Some people are dealing with childhood traumas. Some people are dealing with somebody who has offended them. So because somebody has done something to them, they've taken a position. A lot of life experiences, betrayals, upbringing, shape these people. And we get to meet them. Some of them are going to do business with these people. You're going to work in the same offices with them. If you don't know how to relate with them, and I said how to love difficult people. It's because we're people of God, and love is one of the things that God commands us to do. You understand? So some people are dealing with pain. That's why they are very difficult. They are unlovable. You try, it's almost like you're pouring into an empty can. You do everything. And I don't know, is there anybody here who has ever encountered a difficult person? Like you have encountered a difficult person that you tried to do everything. There are people who you can never please. They are difficult. Has anybody here ever encountered a difficult person? Have you? Share with us. What was the experience like? Maybe you have encountered a difficult person. What was the experience like? If you like to just share a little bit of your encounter with a difficult person. Sorry. We have to take some people away from this life that is going on. Yes. So people needs to be banned from this life that is going on right now. Yes. So Please, if you have, you can share. Is there anyone that you have encountered difficult people? Please share. If you've encountered difficult people, please share. You get? Is there anyone here who has encountered difficult people? Is there anyone who has encountered difficult people? Can you share, please? Is there anyone who has encountered difficult people you can share? What was it like for you? What was it like for you? Okay. Any other person here who has encountered a difficult person? Sure. What else? What else are you here, please? Hello? I think I saw model. Where are the models that are here? I saw model Becky. I saw. Yes. Anyone? Okay. So keep thinking. Keep thinking while I continue. Please, can you still hear me? Let me know if you can still hear me, please. I need to know that you can still hear me. Let me know if you can still hear me because I can't see any. Oh, we have to, I don't know, we have to just keep, I don't know where, I don't know all of this. Okay, you can still hear me. Okay. I just wanted to, please, to remove some people from this life. Good. Fantastic. Okay. So the first thing I said, there are some distractions here. I needed to handle it from my end. Okay. So the first thing I said, how steps of how to actually deal with difficult people, connect with difficult people, or love difficult people. You need to understand that some of them, their difficulty is actually, it often comes from a place of brokenness, maybe what they've gone through. You are not the cause of their being the way they are. It could be a childhood trauma, it could be a betrayal that happened before you came, it could be how they were raised, it can be anything. Number two, you have to do, you have to separate the person from the behavior. This means loving someone does not mean that you approve of the person's actions. For example, just like you have a child, your own biological child, who is somewhat strong willed, who wouldn't listen, who wouldn't take instruction. You see, you love the child, but you do not approve of the child's action. You do not approve of the child's, behavior. So when you work with people, it's just like in an office right now. Your boss is somewhat difficult. You separate, because if you do not separate the person from the behavior, you're going to have issues. You understand? Have you wondered there are some people who have been able to work with difficult people and they've not had issues? And it's because, number one, the first thing you do, you know, the very first thing you do before you understand that you are not the reason for their out is to really understand them. In fact, one of the things I tell people when you come into a new environment, one of the first things you want to do is to understand the people there, how they think. Let's say, for example, you work in an office. Honestly, when you come, 60 to 70% of your job is to understand your boss first. How does he want certain things done? Do you understand? I'm talking about like in an office setting. So separate the person from the behavior. You understand what I'm saying? And loving the person does not also mean that you approve of the person's action. Do you understand? For example, somebody is gossiping. You reject gossip if it's another, you still respect the person. Address if there's disrespect in the relationship, somebody who you can speak to. This is a difficult person. Address the issues, correct what is wrong. So you have to actually separate the person from the behavior. The goal is not to hate somebody, because as a human being, you can't even hate. So the goal is not to hate somebody. The goal is to actually say, I don't accept this behavior. Very, very important. Because if we do not acquire these people's skill, and also teach this skill to our children, you are going to be doing business with multiple personalities. You are going to be coaching, counseling, meeting people from different backgrounds who were raised differently other than you. Everybody is not going to think the way you think. Everybody is not going to care the way you care. So you need to understand that. So you have to separate the person from the behavior. 3, you have to set healthy boundaries. Now listen to me. Loving difficult people does not mean you should tolerate maltreatment. No. Do you know that Jesus at the time had to walk away from a hostile environment? Oh, yes, he did. Jesus walked away from a hostile environment. Does it mean Jesus hates the people? No. See, there's this Bible verse that is so in line. There's this Bible verse that is so in line. It's in Matthew chapter 10, verse 40, where it says, if anyone will not welcome you, shake the dust off of your feet. Do you understand? Boundaries are not, they are not wickedness. They are actually wisdom. Do you understand? They are actually wisdom. So don't force yourself. Don't force yourself on a difficult person. Do you understand? You see, Jesus, where they welcome you, you welcome. Where they do not receive you, you need to be bold enough to set boundaries. To set boundaries. Boundaries are boundaries that you not allow, whatever it is the person is doing to get to you. I don't know whether you understand what I'm saying. The next, difficult people. One of the things you want to try to avoid where difficult people are is that so that you don't start reflecting their energy. Because they have a certain kind of vibe, they have a certain kind of energy, they have a certain kind of environment that they've created. For example, some of them like drama, they have lots of anger, manipulation, pride, and all that. If you're not careful, you are in that space for long, you might start manifesting that. The Bible says that evil communication corrupts good manners. When you have stayed with those kind of people for a long time, if you're not careful, you start mirroring their energy, you start reflecting it. So you have to be very careful because they will try to pull you into their drama. For example, you're in a environment, somebody shouting, 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 shouting. Before you know it, you start behaving like that. So you have to be very, very careful. You don't want to I'm telling you, you don't want to even get into that. You understand? For example, maybe you have this boss that is very difficult. The way the person talks to people, the person insults somebody. You're trying to give somebody an instruction. You're already shouting. If you're not careful, that's what you start. You find yourself. You start being like that. No. 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 Next, when you want to love difficult people, you want to deal with difficult people, you need to know when love requires a distance. And I'm going to explain. You see, not every difficult person is assigned to stay in your life. Yes. It's not every difficult person. Sometimes loving someone would mean, I forgive you, but this is where it ends. Do you know what I'm saying? Because some people think that if I love you, I should give you constant access. If I love you, I should give you unlimited tolerance. If I give, there should be permanent proximity. No, 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 no. Know when love requires distance. There's one time I was telling somebody, let's say, for example, now, you have a relative, God forbid, you have a relative that somehow you find out that that relative was very funny around your children. Very, very funny around your children. And you found out one of the things you're going to do, you are going to forgive them. You love them with the love of the Lord. But the truth is that you redefine the relationship, you have boundaries. That fellow may never step foot into your house again. Does it mean you hate them? The answer is no. You are now loving them from a distance. I don't know whether we understand what I'm saying. So you need to know when love requires a distance, because if not, sometimes some people in relationships, maybe it's in church or neighbor or anything, some people are just acting very funny. And you think that the only way you show them love is by being in their space. No, you can actually love somebody from a distance. Do you understand? You can actually love somebody from a distance. Are we following? Are we catching anything? You can love somebody from a distance. And I've heard people ask this question: can I forgive and forget? You can't forget. Why would you forget? Because you're a human being. Your brain is working. You are not dead. Even a lot of us, some of the things that happened when we were children, we still remember. We don't forget. We remember our primary school. We remember our secondary school. We remember our friends in secondary school. We have not forgotten. So why is it that when somebody does something to you, said, oh, if you have really forgive and forget, I will not forget. But the only thing is that even when I remember it, I will not feel hurt because I've moved past that level. And sometimes, even when you forgive someone, you love someone, you forgive them. Forgiving them may require redefining the relationship. Because sometimes we think, oh, when you love a difficult person, somebody is doing rubbish, then they have to be in your face all the time. No. Oh, if I don't forget, I have not truly forgiven. That's not true. We remember it very well. But we're not hurt because we've moved past that. We've limited access to the person. But we love them with the love of the Lord. There's no hate in the heart. There's no judgment in the heart. I don't know whether anybody's following. Do you understand? Because people have a misconception. Please, if you're following, let me know you're following. Because people have a misconception about what really loving difficult people mean. You think it means for you to be silenced in the face of abuse. Somebody's abusing you, or you think it's for you to be an emotional wreck because you want to love somebody that is difficult. You think it is you losing your identity. You think it is you enabling sin. No, it is not. Do you get what I'm saying? It is not. I have people that are forgiven, but I redefine the relationship. Do you understand? I redefine them. I forgive. And if I say that, hello, how are you doing? The Lord bless you. And that's fine at that level. Because the commandment God gave is to love people. And you love them because of the Lord. You love them because of the grace of God that you have received from God. Do you understand? Because you want to love them with your own love. You cannot. Oh. This is like somebody who maybe your team lead, or maybe in church, or maybe in an organization, maybe in church. You just have this very difficult team that will not understand. You are saying A, they are saying Z. Somehow, you still have to work with them. You love them with the love of the Lord so that the ministry can be moving. Is somebody following what I'm saying? Do you understand? So loving difficult people does not mean that you put your head for them to be heaping everything. Oh, Pastor people say we should love difficult people. So throw me all the insults. I'm loving you as a difficult person. Bash me all I want. I'm loving you as a difficult person. Talk to me the way you want. I'm loving you as a difficult person. That's not what it means. Do you understand? What it means truly is that you respond with wisdom. Somebody is talking gibberish, somebody is misbehaving. You are able to respond to them, but you respond with wisdom. You protect your peace. That's what it means. Do you understand? You choose maturity over drama, because there are people who are drama evangelists. They love, they God, there's nothing you do. Have you people? I'm not sure any of you have met difficult people. Oh my God. They can easily misunderstand you. And sometimes you're wondering. They can easily misunderstand you. So you need to be an expert at responding and not just reacting. Somebody is doing stuff and it's impacting your mental health. You need to have a conversation with the person. Oh, yes, you should. Do you understand? For example, you may be working with a difficult boss, a boss that does not like gists. Your boss just like, do your work. I'm not here for any connection or anything. Follow the person like that. Sometimes we're the ones that try to be too body, friendly. You just be bringing matter that does not concern you. You have studied somebody. You understand this is how this person thinks. This is how this person will follow them like that. Am I helping you? Yes, you may have need for connection. You think, oh, you can maybe find the person, or the person becomes, some people are not like that. Just respect. Okay, so the person does not care about, the person just wants you to see what we're handling, what we're dealing with at hand. That is what we should focus on. You yourself, pull yourself together. There's something called situational, like a situation, what you do in that situation, because people are different. For example, you work in an office and your boss is a very execution driven person don't come and be gisting about what happened in your family. You're trying to fans. They don't want fans. Study people. When we study people, I'm telling you, we'll have less issues. When you understand people, you understand, for example, you have a friend that is very chatty. You have a friend that you can talk and talk and talk. That is not the person for you to be giving gist. Because you know what? This person's mouth does not close. The person has a leaking mouth. You have done all you can to ensure that you encourage the person. Of course, you say, oh, Pastor Bebo, are you saying we should leave people the way they are? You cannot change them. In fact, you can't change anybody. You can only influence people. And then when you influence people, people will decide to change. Listen, the truth is that for you to even change as an adult now, it's difficult for you to even change yourself to top of changing another person. You just have to use wisdom to follow people. You just have to use wisdom to follow people. Very difficult, people. Do you understand? Please, if you're following, let me know that you're following so that I can continue. I'm trying to get. Do you understand? Very, 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 very important. Then there are some people. There are some people who they are evil. Difficult people are evil. They are evil. Very difficult. They are evil. They are evil. Let me also share some other signs. Number one, you see people who resist accountability. You need to be very careful. People who resist accountability, people who never admit they are wrong, people who always feels it's somebody else's fault. When you correct them, it feels like you're attacking them. They can twist something to avoid taking responsibility. Gaslighting, people who gaslight. You see, as you grow in life, we're going to meet all kinds of people. These are signs you need to be looking out for. And the truth is that, yes, there are some of these people that God will bring into our life. When God brings them into our life, we can influence them and they can actually make amends. But just know that there are some people that you cannot change. So when someone resists accountability, they never admit they're wrong. There are people who find it very difficult to apologize. Even when they're wrong, they will never apologize. They always feel it's somebody else's fault. They never, in fact, because everybody has a blind spot. So when light is shone on their blind spot, instead of them to adjust themselves, adjust their attitude, they adjust the light. So they adjust the light. Do you get what I'm telling you? These are signs of very difficult people. But guess what? When you do not have any chance, because some people are married to very difficult spouses. Some people have mother-in-laws. Some people have in-laws who are difficult. You have entered. What I'm sharing are skills that you need to acquire so that you can live peaceably with all men. Do you understand? So one of the signs is that they resist accountability like anything. Number two is that I've said it before, drama. I don't know how people stay in relationship where you're constantly having squabbles, you're constantly having misunderstanding, conflict, you're constantly, this person said there's gossip, there's strangulation, this person said, this person didn't say, you not carry, or sometimes it's emotional explosion over small matters. It's draining. Difficult people can drain you. They can drain you. They can drain you. Offense. The Bible says, offense must but come. But it now says, woe to him through which the offense will come. Offense will come. There's a reason why you are not the one offended. So people who are easily offended. Oh, I took offense at what you said. And so every time, offense, like the atmosphere around them is heated. Very difficult people. They can minimize your results, make it look like rubbish. Because they're very proud people. They're very, very proud people. So no matter what you do, they commonize your impact, commonize your results. Yes. You're going to meet it. Easily offended. one other sign of a difficult person. Make sure, listen to me, instead of collaborating, they compete with you. Some people, do you know there are some people who say they're friends, who say they're relatives, who say that it's like more like they want what you have. They, instead of them to collaborate with you, they compete with, secretly competing with you, almost like to take you out. They feel threatened by your growth. Some people have friends who, no matter how you win, they will never celebrate you. They will never. Have you seen such people before? Have you seen such people before? Like everybody's celebrating you, everybody's blowing your trumpet, it's like all over the place. They go mute. In fact, they're very quiet. They don't celebrate your wins. They downplay your achievement. They commonize it. It's not this thing. Very difficult people. See, this difficult people thing can manifest in a lot of ways. It can manifest in so many ways. You know, the Bible says in 1 Corinthians chapter 13. Let me read it. 1 Corinthians. Let me read 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 4. It talks about that love does not envy. Envy is deadly. Somebody who is envious can actually kill somebody. Yes. Look at Cain and Abel. He was envious. Cain obviously was envious. Cain was envious of Abel. And he was angry. Love does not envy. And when you have, may God open your eyes to see those that are envious of you. Because when envy pounces, if envy is very bad, envy is a spirit. If envy pounces on somebody, even your spouse, if envy pounces on anybody around you, they can take you out. Because when envy, it's just envy, is looking at the person angry. Difficult people. It's one of the signs. Something to collaborate, something to celebrate. They go mute. Everyone's very quiet. But you go all out. You go all out because that's who you are. Go out for people. Next, when you're around people who are draining your energy, you have difficult people around you. Have you had a conversation with someone and after the conversation you felt so small? You felt like you're not achieving anything. You felt emotionally exhausted, drained, confused. Very difficult people. They'll mess with your psyche. You're like on the edge. They drain your energy. Another sign. They manipulate you through guilt, control. They're very controlling. If you love me, you will follow me to Sambisa Forest. That's how they sound. If you love me, you would. That condition. Then anytime you're not able to comply with what they want, they use silence to punish you. Silent treatment. Even in marriages, there are spouses that are experts in using silent treatment. We call it silent treatment, we call it stonewalling. A stonewalling. Like this is a wall I'm talking. Like there's a thick wall. They erect a wall immediately. Very difficult. So they can manipulate, they can guilt you, control you. Very difficult people. They will withhold support to control certain decisions with no support. May you not meet a difficult person. No. So what you need to do is to know, how do you now love these people? How do you now love them? How? How do you now love? I've already shared how you can love them. Love from a distance. Create boundaries. Then also pray for them. Do you understand? Pray for them, pray for you, pray for them, pray for yourself. Next point, adjust your expectations. Sometimes we have very high expectation. Stop expecting difficult people to become suddenly nice, suddenly people that you can get along with. Adjust expectation. Me, there are people around me that have adjusted my expectation. I'm not expecting so much. So I'm not surprised by their patterns. Um, I'm not surprised. It's just that there are certain things I can't allow them handle. Do you understand? Certain things I can't allow them handle. You'll be able to speak the truth calmly. Because one of the things that difficult people also do, they avoid confrontation. So speak the truth. Say what you need to say. Limit access. Remember I used that example of somebody who is acting funny around your home. And sometimes some of these people can even be relatives. Acting very, very, and you have proof. You will love them from a distance. So you limit access when necessary. Do you understand? I don't know whether we're following. And this is 9:45. Please, I'd like you to share what stood out for you. I'm trying to see comment. Let me see. You try and share what stood out for you. So if you're going to love difficult people, what it means is that you have to be firm. You have to be at peace. You have to be kind. That's what it means. You have to be wise. You need a lot of wisdom today, especially if you're working in an office or you are in a team where you have some difficult people. Yes, sometimes it's very challenging. I'll tell you the truth, it's not easy. It's very, very, very challenging. So, loving people does not mean you hear that, oh, somebody is saying, maybe you parked your car, so somebody saying, you overheard them, oh, that car that is there, we're going to scatter the car. Are you going to keep quiet? Are you going to leave the person? No. Are you going to say, oh, they say we should love difficult people. I love you, and you keep quiet. You will do the needful in love. You will do the needful in love. Do you understand? So, loving difficult people does not mean you should lose your identity. No. If you have someone around you who, anytime this person comes around you, you feel so small, you feel like you have not achieved anything. You find you hide your achievements. What are you doing there? Love from a distance. Limit access. But love the person with the love of the Lord. Don't hate. Don't keep malice. Not from your end. Don't. Don't enable somebody's dysfunction to continue to thrive in your space. You need to own your space. If not, you become like them. Yes. If not, when they dominate your atmosphere, even if you're working in a very toxic environment, you're working in a very toxic office, that toxicity is an atmosphere created by someone. You need to be cautious enough to create your own atmosphere within that atmosphere. Did you catch what I just said? Did you catch what I did? But it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work for you to create your own atmosphere because that thing was created. No, it was created. No, it was created. So you need to, yes, you need to be firm. You need to be wise. You need to speak with calm. You need to be assertive, not arrogant. I need to, pray for yourself and ask God, you understand, to help you with wisdom to know what to do per time. Do you get what I'm saying? Some difficult people, they don't like gifts. Stop going to be buying gifts to farms with people. There's some people, see, I believe that when you study people, when you buy gifts, you think you're giving them food. Why are you giving them food? Do you want to poison them? They don't eat people's food. So if you understand that, I personally think if we spend time understanding people, really, really understanding people, we'll treat them that way, and there'll be peace. Is it the best? Not really, but we have to coexist. Because we have to coexist, wisdom is profitable to direct. Like, there's a woman one time who met me. It wasn't the first time, it wasn't the second time, it wasn't the third time. Anytime she gets large amount of money, she give it to her husband will squander it. She gets large of it, give it to her husband will squander it. And she said, oh, because she went for counseling, they told her every money you have is give it to your husband. Anything he does with the money, God will judge him. When she came to me, I said, you will not give your husband that money. Why? Because when you give money, because he's actually not bringing any money. So you not be, it's a very difficult. So you not, because they said, who said, I don't know, you should submit, you should carry all the money and give to him. You carry money that is meant for business, carry money that is probably be meant for children's school fees, so your children will stay at home. You give to your husband because they said you should submit. For me, that is a no. And I told her, you can't give him the money. Anytime you want to do stuff, he's always blocking you. He doesn't want your growth. Why are you telling him? Listen, we must be wise. If somebody understand what I'm saying, I remember one particular case, school fees. The man said, oh, should give him. He used the money to go and gamble. He used the money to play gamble because he believes that if he gamble, he will triple the money. And I told the woman, you cannot do joint account with somebody that is gambling. Because if you do joint account, whenever money enters it, he carries the entire money to go. I'm a marriage counselor, but I will not counsel anyone. Now, it could be a man, it could be a woman. How do you do joint account with somebody who is a gambler? And this person has like 100%, what's it called? The person can sign a loan. That's jeopardizing the entire family future. Because I know we as women, you don't want your children to stay at home, you don't want anywhere to serve, you have to draw in everywhere. And just because you have to, that's what they say. Said where? There's certain information. If you see why I say understand the person. Let's say understand. In fact, there's a particular case I handled. The gambling, he sold the wife's car, used it for gambling, borrowed money from some of her friends. He used it for gambling. All these ones, I already done all these ones before I knew. I said, you can't do joint account. If that is the definition of submission, I'm not part of it. Oh, the Bible says we should submit our husband. You can't submit your mind to a very difficult person. Squanders everything. You tell him you want to do this. He said no. I remember one time a particular woman, I counsel people's marriages, so I see a lot of things. I remember a particular woman who she she's been working with one of the IOCs, one of the oil company, and she's the one footing the bill, doing everything. And I remember one particular time, she wanted to buy a property, and the husband said she should give him the money. She pays school fees, she pays the rent, she does everything because she earns more. Say she give him. She asked me, I said, no, don't give him. Don't give him. Because the ones she's given in the past, what happened? For somebody who's worked in a top oil firm for 15 years and you have nothing to show for it. I said, no, don't. Guess what? She bought it. That property is worth over 40 million. And you know what? Somehow the man has passed. God bless his soul. Understand the person you're dealing with. I don't know whether this thing helps. I don't know whether I've been able to share this. I don't know, have I answered? I know I may have answered some questions in your heart as it has to do with whether it's family relationship, siblings relationship, what's it called? Parents. Some people, maybe your parents are very difficult. You can't throw them away. You owe them honor. That I've counseled some people that each time they speak with their parents, they cry because their parents are so judgmental. Their parents are never grateful. Their parents are not grateful. Their parents keep comparing them. I tell them, they are not living in your house. You owe them honor. So I say, you owe them honor. You must never dishonor them. Honor them. Love them. But you're not going to be, because each time you call. So each time they call, because that's what you have to deal when you're praying for them. That's what you have to deal with. When you call, let them do the talking. Appreciate them. Do you get what I'm saying? So you can keep your sanity. If not, there will be cycles of you crying all the time. Until you get to the point that there's nothing anybody says to you that means anything. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't know whether I've been able to share to help you. Have I been able to help you tonight? How you can actually love difficult people, relate with them, whether it's in the office, whether it's family. Then if you have a child, you want to truly, truly, truly understand that child and see how you can connect. Find levels of connection. Because every difficult person has a soft spot. Some of them is when you hype them. When you allow them have their way to achieve something. No, when you hype them, you like it. May the Lord open your eyes and grant you wisdom to know what to do. When you have a difficult leader who's always making mistake, God will help you so that you know how to, when you have a suggestion to give, your words, this is what I'm saying, but you are the leader now. You always bring the best ideas. You need to find a way. What do you think about this? I think you should maybe just think about it. I don't know, whatever you say. You should be very wise so that you can relate. Okay, so this is where we come to the end of today's session. I don't know what stood out for you. I want to share what stood out for you, but this is actually where I come to the end of today's session. Come to the end of today's session. Yes, come to the end of today's session. Do you understand? Today's session, today's session, today's session. Yes, anyone, talk to me, talk to me. What are you taking away from here? Tell me one thing that you're taking away from here. That you something that will make you readjust how you see difficult people. Something that will help you relate better, love them better with difficult people. What is that? What is that thing? What's that thing? Share it here. What's that thing? What's that thing? Let me know. What is it? The way you think now. Hmm? Let me know. We're going to have this conversation further, the WhatsApp group. Have you encountered a difficult person? How do you relate with difficult people? You understand? Let's see, you're here. Can you share something that stood out for you? Becky, can you share something that stood out for you? Who are the other people here? Chinwe, can you share something that stood out for you? Kemi, can you share what's that one thing that you're going away you're leaving here with that? You look at it, you'll be like, okay, I think I got this. I got this. I got this. What's that thing? Before I end the session and move away. Yes. Can we hear it? Okay. Understand them and allow them to do their things by guiding your peers. Fantastic. Understand them. Yes, you need to understand them. You need to understand them. Even in the office, let's say for example, you have a boss that's difficult. One of the things you want to do is to really, really understand your boss. If you understand your boss, ah, ka, 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 ka. Yes, understand their soft spot. Yes, so you must understand their soft spot so that yes, you need to understand. And that's why I said every difficult person has something. So it's our responsibility to find out what is that thing that tickles their fancy. What is that button? Mm-hmm. Do you get? That's why you see some men that are some men say this man is very harsh. It's not harsh 24 hours. He has his good moments. Okay. Loving from a distance, fantastic. It's love from a distance. When it gets to a level where I can't take this. You love from a distance. Okay, Constance okay, you're just coming. So anyone who is just coming now, please go and watch the replay. Watch the replay. You need to watch the replay because this session is very, very important. Most times, people like that are easily touched by gift. That's why I say find out their love language because that can give you a form of access, especially if it's somebody that you cannot yank off of your life. If somebody you cannot yank off of your life, like a spouse, like an in-law, like a boss in the office until you change job. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay, so I hope this has been a fantastic, yeah, well done.